Good morning. It is the start of Monday. In my last vlog, hey, Ellie, get off the sink. What are you doing? Sorry. In my last vlog, I had worked really hard to brainstorm acts 2 and 3 and get some really great new ideas that has made me really excited. And I was talking at the very end, or I don't know if it was at the very end, but one of the things I said is hold me accountable. I'm going to spend Monday writing because we're going out of town Wednesday through Saturday this week. So I have Monday and Tuesday to write and then to work. And so I've made my schedule where today is all writing and Tuesday gets to be working for my day job, the business that I run. So far, I haven't had a day where I've only just written and that has been the only thing. And to be really, really honest, I'm low-key like nervous about it. Is scared the right word? Because that's a lot. Like I have gotten so much done in like a 3-hour writing period, but I have no idea what it's like to devote my whole day just to writing. So I'm getting a little bit of a slow start because I was cozying up here in the corner and Ellie was cuddling with me, so it was hard to get off the couch. But now we're getting going. And I think my plan, I want to leave this really open because again, I'm discovering my process. But I did all of that planning and that brainstorming before. My plan today is a couple of different things. One, I want to like split up my writing sprints or times with other activities. So I want to write, and I thought about doing like a Pomodoro timer or something, but I don't want to have to stop at a certain amount of time. I want to go based on my flow, but I also don't want to go until my flow feels stale. I want to stop like right before that, take a break, go on a walk, go on a run, eat a meal, stretch, and do kind of like stuff like that. So I want to kind of follow that stop just before it starts to feel like I'm doing a lot, take a break, physically move my body, think about something different. The other things too that I know amp me up and that I will do today is I think I will look at my Pinterest boards. I actually love to watch a YouTube of another vlog of somebody else, and that always gets me really amped up to write. So I'll probably watch a YouTube, have some breakfast, get going. Then when I also need those breaks to get more ideas and things, do a little like pinning on Pinterest. I did start a playlist, so I'll be listening to that. But today, this is what we are doing. We are accomplishing a whole day focused on just writing. And then when the day's over, I'll pack for my trip. But here we go. All right, I've had my breakfast, I have my water, I have my coffee. It is time to pull up my book. I don't think that I have told you guys what I have titled this project, but if you are new here, I am writing my memoir and I'm turning it into a dystopian fantasy young adult novel. When I was being birthed, my mom's desire was to name me Judy, and my dad said no. And so my name is Kayla. But this project, I have no idea what to call it, but this whole time we're like, oh, maybe the main character who is created after myself, who's doing a lot of the events and things that have happened to me in my real life are happening for her. But because it is like dystopian fantasy, I am doing and creating magical ways to show and express the themes of me growing up in poverty in an unstable household with an alcoholic mother and an abusive father. But they wanted to name me Judy. So right now, this project is called Almost Judy. And I don't know if Judy will stay her name, but as of now, that's the main character's name. We are starting today on this day full of writing, now that I'm feeling like amped and ready, with a word count of 16,561. And last time I brainstormed, I had chunks put out. So I have like outlined quite a few chapters, and I am going to go back and work after chapter 10 in the beat sheet. We're in the fun and games part, and start filling all of this in. I'm really excited because I get to play with my character, learning and discovering her magic. She's already learned and discovered a magic creature, and that is what like shows her that the magic is in her. And so she is going to start practicing it out into the world. And so that is what we're getting into today. That was actually really fun. That brainstorming session last time was so helpful. I already still have so many amazing things that I want to write about next, but what I did is I went and beefed up some of this fun and games. I introduced 2 new characters, and I knew exactly how I wanted to introduce them, which was really exciting. I'm at 19,093 words. So what did I start at? 16.5, 16, 17, 18. So I wrote like 2,500 words. I don't know what time I got started, but it's 1:30 now. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to have some lunch. I wanted to try to stop before my brain started to feel stale and mix things up. So I do know that I want to eat lunch, and I also want to go for a run. So I'm not sure how much of a break running after eating right away is not going to be great. Maybe I can run first. Anyways, one thing I did do though that this kind of spurred me to while I was writing is I realized she's getting to the point where my main character is meeting 2 very important characters who also have the magical power that she is learning is in her. And I realized when they sit and tell her what is going on in her life, that I have to already figure out my magic system. So I went back and I did some like researching, figuring out the magic system that I wanted to have, how it comes from these ancient priestesses, and who like some modern day ones are, which is really fun, what they're doing now, how this magic's dying out, how they're surprised that it's in her because of where she lives, and the withering, and how like normally with the impoverished life that she lives, when people have this magic, it literally can't flourish. So obviously there's something special about my character if that's happening. So I'm really excited about that. She met them. I kind of went back and added one of the things that I wanted to add to the fun and games is kind of her experimenting with the magic before she knows what it is. I didn't want her to go and meet these people and have them describe what she has and then have her go try. I wanted her to like be like, oh my God, what just happened? What did I just do? And so there's an instance where she does that with her sister. And then there's an instance where she does that with her new friend. And then her new friend's mom. She kind of tests these things out to be like, wait, is this magic? Can I control this? Is this a one-time thing? Can this be more? And then after that, she meets these 2 women. And so I just did that. I'm super excited about it. I think I'm actually going to have a small snack, then go run. And I might just run on the treadmill. I don't know. Maybe I'll go outside. We'll see. Whatever. I'll take you with me. Then we'll eat. I'm having a slice of leftover pizza, which I'm so excited about. And that will not be good before running. So I think I will run first. Shower, get ready, and then get back at it and see. I think 2,500 words is probably about the max that I've ever written so far in a day, but that's because I normally only do one couple hour writing session. So I'm really excited to have this break and then be able to come back to it. I decided to eat pizza first, and then I will run later. It did not fill me up, so I don't think I have to wait that long to run. And so I watched Little Emily in Paris while I ate, and then I just sat back down to write. And I got 300 more words out, and I had this idea, and I like this idea that I'm having, but I think now I really need to step away from the book to think about this more, because what I've written today, I have loved. And as I've been writing it, I'm like, this really kind of feels like a catalyst and a debate is happening. It feels a little disconnected from the catalyst and debate earlier. And the more even I'm thinking about it right now, as I'm telling you, is I think that I need to rearrange the events of the story. I think that what I had as the catalyst before needs to now become, when we think about the beat sheet, needs to move. I think that event needs to be all is lost. I think that needs to be towards the end that puts my character on the journey to the finale. And I think the part that I'm writing right now, I think I might make another document and rearrange it and see how it flows. But I think what needs to happen, I don't even necessarily need to rewrite it. Things will chronologically not match up and I'll refer back and forth. But I think that the catalyst needs to be when the egg hatches. And I have the egg hatching is when the B story starts, and when we break into 2, and then fun and games. But I think the catalyst needs to be the egg. She's doing all of this deciding. She's doing all of this figuring out. And then what I just wrote is the B story starting. Yes. Okay. I think as I did that extra brainstorming and understood the magic world and the antagonist better, that was really helpful, because like I said in the last video, the antagonist that I was kind of having before was almost like her family, herself. It was kind of confusing. And now that I've solidified the antagonist is kind of like poverty itself and what it does to the people around her, I'm seeing that differently in terms of then what the catalyst is and the choices that she needs to make. So I am going to work on that a little bit, and then I'm going to go for a run, and then hopefully work a little bit more, even more after that. Wow. It's really interesting working on this for more hours put together. And thinking about this for a longer extended period of time, because I think when I was coming in and just writing for, 1 hour, and I would just write kind of one chapter, I'm wondering how cohesive that was making everything. But now that I'm in this longer, getting to know this more, spending more time in it, I think I'm starting to see it instead of piece by piece as I do it, but on a larger scale. At least that's how it feels in this moment. So okay, let's work on some rearranging, see what happens, and then we'll take another break. weather outside. I'm glad I went. I was feeling like I didn't want to go because I was just like wanting to be on my laptop, wanting to be writing, wanting to be figuring out this rearranging of the catalyst and things, which I kind of had that thought like going all along. There's basically a second catalyst to the end. Like there's the first catalyst that like puts the main character into action, and then there's the last catalyst that like makes them take action on the finale. And so I just wanted to like stay and figure it out, but I knew that if I moved my body and got fresh air, those are two things that I know that always clear my mind, refresh me, and it did just that. And it was like a perfect running weather outside. I think it's like 49 degrees. The sun is gone today, so it wasn't like overheating. I mean, obviously I got sweaty and hot. And for what was supposed to be an easy run, my pace was actually a lot faster than, I mean, it technically should have been. I should slow down. But it also felt good to just be like, oh, that didn't feel overwhelming and hard, which means my goal race pace that I was like, oh, if I could get to about that pace, I would be like astounded and excited, should be easily accessible. But while I was out on my run, I was really thinking about this idea of rearranging, and part of me was kind of beating myself up like, Kayla, you started this book, and after you got like your first like 9,000 words in, you like chopped it all, or like 8,000 words or something, I can't remember what it was, chopped it all and was like, no, this isn't the direction I want to go. This would be better, and you did it. Then you got up to, I think, what did I start today at 16,000, got up to 19,000, and then chopped out a whole portion again, and I'm like back to 14,000. And like, is this the way that you are supposed to be writing? Like going, changing your mind, going, changing your mind. And what I realized is it's like, one, what I know about me is that I'm an experimenter. In order to find my process, in order to find out like how I want to do things, I experiment, I try, I see, go by how that feels and get a result. Like I like to take action, get a result, adjust, take action, get a result, adjust. And so I realize I'm not changing my mind. I'm not trashing anything. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm refining. And this is my process for refining, is going and then seeing, oh, now this direction would be stronger. Take out any of the parts that aren't that strong and keep going with the strength and keep going and keep going. It can only make my story better. And so at first I was kind of like, are you doing a shit job of this? And then I was like, no, you're not. And this is just your process. This is literally how I even do life. Like when I was like, oh, the only way I knew if I wanted to do a Spartan race is to try one, try training for one, run one, see if you want to keep doing it, right? The only way I knew if I wanted to bodybuild or dance or run marathons and half marathons is try a race. And so why would it be any different with my writing? And so I'm excited to take a shower, maybe make another coffee. I don't know, maybe not. We also have to pack for Arizona after today. Yeah, probably not another coffee, who knows? But yeah, take a shower, get back into some more comfy clothes, and then get back in front of the computer and just keep going from here. And then maybe even on the way to Arizona, I'll like read it all and see how it feels. But I kind of want to wait to read anything until the whole thing's done and then print a copy and read it. And I think that'd be fun. But anyways, I don't need to worry about that. Burn that bridge when we get there, as they say. Your girl needs to shower now. Okay, after coming back from that run, I took my shower, did all those things. I'm getting hungry now. It is 5:58. So today really was a full day of writing, and I haven't had that before, and this was so exciting. I am ending the day on still having 19,207 words. So even despite me starting at 16,000, I believe it was 16,500, then taking out chunks and rearranging them, and then going back and kind of adding things in after my run, after I kind of had these epiphanies and saw the direction, and based on the brainstorming of last time, seeing where I really want to take this and where I really want to dig into the details, and having a much clearer antagonist. It feels really good to still end up at 19,000 words is so many. Like when I think about getting to the midpoint, that's basically the midpoint almost, because if I'm thinking that my book's going to be about 50,000 words, then the midpoint is 25,000. So that feels really, really exciting. I did end up going back and after kind of finishing out what before was fun and games and now will be the debate of, I guess, take three, almost Judy, take three. I did go back and kind of read chapter 1, read chapter 2, read chapter 3, and add in different details that I think just strengthen the antagonist, strengthen poverty being the bad guy and being personified. That just helped me feel better because I thought I was just going to keep going from where I was. But I was like, but I know that I'm going to go read this later whenever it's all done and just be like, it is not connected. And I wanted it to feel connected by the time I do that big printout and read every page that I'm done. I am going to wrap up this day here. And when I think about today and I think about the progress that I made, trying to plan a day like this into my week, one, shouldn't be hard at all. Like I could probably do this every single Monday. I could definitely pick, I could do it every single Monday or every Thursday or every Friday. And I could probably do this twice a week. And I think that's what I want to do. I really, really loved having time to come back to revisit. And I do think that I don't know that I want to be like writing 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day or anything like that, but I loved having the flexibility to think about it more because when I write in the morning and then shift to like the last 2 days that I was writing and then switch to client stuff, then I completely remove my brain from having any more thoughts or ideas. And I felt like this just helped me look at what the story that I'm writing more cohesively as a whole story versus just looking at it like this chapter that I'm working on now or this section that I'm working on now. And that is really helpful. And I think that it's going to really make the story stronger. And so I really, really liked that. And the other thing that I liked about it, and I was thinking about this when I was going on my run, is that it makes me feel more like a writer, like an author, to not be like kind of cramming this in, to not be also doing other stuff. And I have scaled back my coaching business. I have scaled it back so that I can have more time to do this. And maybe that's something that I can make a whole video on in another time. But because I do want to feel like an author, I don't want this to feel like a side experiment that I'm doing as much as I do like that it feels like something that feels meaningful, something that like I do eventually want to get it published. And I do want tons of people, millions of people to buy this and read this and love this and learn from this and be seen in this. And so I want to take it seriously too. So I am going to plan to have more days like today. And I'm really glad that I challenged myself. And then I told y'all to hold me accountable to do this because this was really super great. And I'm going to do it again and again. The trip that we're going on in Arizona, today's Monday, we leave on Wednesday and we're there Wednesday through Saturday, we're going with our friends who are also entrepreneurs. So myself, I'm an entrepreneur. Y'all know that I have my own coaching business and I'm also a curriculum consultant and I do that work. My husband is an artist full-time and also a creative director. So he does like world building and brand building. And then the couples that we're going with, they're both coaches. Her husband is an executive coach, Chris. And then my friend Lindsay, she actually used to be my life coach and business coach. And so she has a life coaching membership. And she also coaches one-on-one. And so we're all basically getting together to do a sort of mastermind where we're going to coach each other. And I'm really excited about it going into this, having already started my book, having already had my thoughts about curriculum consulting and the percentage of time that I want to put here or there, and not really worrying about making my program this like fully loaded, lots of clients in it while I'm doing this program. I just have so much more insight to what I want. And so I'm really excited to go to Arizona and be able to kind of like hammer out the details logistically of what that looks like. Like, does it look like me doing this every Monday or twice a week? And setting that in stone and making sure that happens. Does it look like me actively trying to get an agent, actively trying to get published this year? Does it look, what do all these things look like? And I'm really excited to go there, to have like this coaching from each other and just leave like inspired and ready and even on more on fire. I feel like moving to New York, I've talked about this before. It was like, came here, so many of our plans changed and it kind of felt like this whirlwind of like ideas and creativity and doing new things all the time and all of this transition. And I don't feel like it was going down. Like I feel like that transition was like going up and up and up in terms of energy and momentum. And now I feel like we're at a point where I know my husband really feels like this and his business is taking off and his music is taking off and he's making the best music that he has. And it's like, oh my God, now I'm writing this book And I just feel like we're at this point where we are just on this trajectory of going up, and things are feeling so good and so exciting, and in the way that they feel so fulfilled. And so I'm really excited to just continue this with this coaching time, and keep moving forward. So I'm really pumped about the changes that I've made today, and I can't wait to keep going on this, and to start incorporating more full days like this into my writing practice. If you've made it this far, drop a puzzle emoji down for how much puzzling I did today and how I've repuzzled this book a couple of times, but only in the name of refining it to make it better and better and better. So eventually the world gets the best possible book that I could write. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one.